CTV News with Caroline Van Vlartigan.
Good evening. The founder of the Just for Laughs festival, Gilbert Rozon, was found liable for sexual abuse today against 8 of the 9 women who accused him. In a civil trial, Rozon had been ordered to pay nearly $1 million to the women, a verdict a long time in the making. Here's Stéphane Giroux.
For these 8 women, the court victory against Gilbert Rozon is complete, if bittersweet, after decades of legal fights.
I'm waiting 40 years for recognize to myself the injustice and damage it caused to my perception of myself. The fact is, walk on the street proud.
Annick Charette is part of a group of 8 women who will share nearly $900,000 in damages after suing Just for Laughs founder Gilbert Rozon. The once all-powerful impresario was found liable in civil court for sexually abusing them after a year-long trial.
It brings to the surface a moment in my life that I did not choose. My rape and sexual assault by Gilbert Rozon marked my journey. This victory doesn't erase my past, but validating the truth.
During the trial, the plaintiffs claimed that Rozon used his power and dominance to force employees and business partners to have sex with him. Rozon had claimed he had consensual relations with 3 of them and then claimed that they conspired to extort money from him. When no criminal charges were laid, the women sued Rozon in civil court, where the legal threshold is lower.
The judge recognized the truth of their allegations, and true allegations in a judgment of the Superior Court are not just allegations, they're factual conclusions. This is what happened. Gilbert Rozon is a predator and a liar.
The victims originally claimed a total of $14 million from Rozon. They remain bitter that the courts only awarded a fraction of their demand based on current jurisprudence.
If you're a victim of defamation, you can get $1 million of damages because someone said something not nice about you. And if you're a rape victim and your whole life is derailed, you get 10 times less.
Rozon's team has yet to react publicly. He still has the option to appeal the ruling. Stéphane Giroux, CTV News.
A video of a man insulting a Montreal police officer was denounced in the National Assembly today, and in 2 separate motions, MNAs unanimously voted for consequences for this kind of verbal abuse. Matt Gilmore reports on a warning the language in this report is explicit.
The video, filmed and posted by the driver of the vehicle, shows a young female police officer carrying out a traffic stop for an illegal tinted window. The driver can be heard aggressively telling her to shut up, using misogynistic slurs, even saying he's going to buy her and own her as a slave. Montreal Police Chief Fadi Daguerre calls the video repugnant and a clear example of the masculinist movement that is growing online. He also commended the young officer for staying calm.
She did exactly what she was training for. She was very professional, but unfortunately, she didn't have the appropriate regulations to do something.
Yves Francoeur with the Police Brotherhood says in other Quebec cities, insulting an officer is a ticketable offense. That's not the case in Montreal. Now he and Daguerre want that changed.
We are looking to have a very quick reunion to look at the question.
In a statement, the mayor wrote, "The language and behavior shown in the video are unacceptable. It's sexist and shows a complete lack of respect for our police officers who do a difficult job." Her office says the city's ready to discuss the possibility of adding a bylaw, but added that the mayor believes body cameras are the most effective tool to help keep both officers and citizens safe. The video was originally taken in June of last year, but was only posted on TikTok over the weekend. It's since been viewed over 2 million times across the different social media platforms.
I'm the father of two daughters who are about the same age that the officer, so it's very tough, and I think even as men, we can't tolerate.
He says the Brotherhood is exploring legal options and could eventually sue the man in the video. Matt Gilmore, CTV News.
Meantime, a man is under arrest in connection with the death of an 18-year-old woman who was killed in an apartment in Montreal today. The woman was attacked in a home near 19th Avenue in Everett in Saint-Michel during the lunch hour. Police say her death was pronounced at the scene. A man was arrested outside the apartment. This is the 6th killing of the year in Montreal and the 8th femicide in Quebec this year. And 2 men were stabbed last night during a bar fight in southwest Montreal. The fight, broke out around 11 o'clock at the Shooters Cafe on Monk Boulevard. Police say 2 men were injured, one in the fight and the other when he tried to stop it. The assailant fled the scene before police arrived. And a 26-year-old woman has died after she was hit by a train in the Mile End. Police say she was crossing the tracks under the Van Horn overpass near Saint-Dominique. There is no train crossing at that point, but many people cross the tracks there as a shortcut. Another woman was killed by a train there 4 years ago. Parents and citizens in Montreal West are getting something they have long pushed for, a crossing guard at a busy intersection there known for accidents. The guard will be temporarily assigned at the intersection of Westminster South and Ainslie Road next Tuesday. It comes after parents of students at Royal West Academy and residents submitted a petition with over 3,500 signatures to the National Assembly. For years, they were told that a footnote in a regulation prevented crossing guards from being assigned to high schools. But with the help of local MNA Desiree McGraw, they convinced Montreal Police and the city a crossing guard is warranted.
Yeah, we are feeling really happy and relieved. We know there's still more work to do. It's only till the end of the year, but yes, we are certainly very happy tonight.
And the measure will be in place until the end of the school year. The town is also putting in a pilot project to increase safety at a nearby level train crossing. A 71-year-old man was killed there last April after being struck by a commuter train. 4 years after he was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison, there will be a new trial for Carl Giroir. Giroir is accused of using a sword to kill 2 people in Quebec City on Halloween night 2020. The Court of Appeal ruled that the judge in the initial trial made an error when giving instructions to the jury. Giroir remained silent for hours while being questioned by police. The appeals court says the trial judge should have instructed the jury that remaining silent is a right and not an admission of guilt. Well, today is the deadline for gun owners to take part in the federal buyback program. But some gun owners say the buyback has little to offer them. Kelly Gregg explains.
At the Montreal Shooting Club, the gun buyback program has been a target for criticism.
90% of the gun owners have basically told the government, look, go kick rocks. We ain't returning anything.
The Lachine outfitter sells everything from semi-automatic weapons.
Some of them are distinctively made for hunting, like something like this would definitely be made for hunting.
To handguns. But this one, an M1, is now on the banned list, along with around 2,500 other models deemed assault style by the federal government.
These weapons were designed for one purpose and one purpose only: to kill the largest number of people in the shortest amount of time.
The Prime Minister at the time adding the program will make Canada safer, an assertion Frank Nardi doesn't agree with.
Criminals don't care about your laws. They don't care about the buyback. They just want to buy a gun.
The Quebec government supports the initiative, and Montreal police confirm officers will be involved to help collect the guns. As of last Friday, Quebec is third among all provinces in participation. with 5,000 owners declaring over 8,500 weapons.
We have a ban on most assault weapons in Canada, and that's not going to change whether or not there's a big participation or not in the buyback.
Heidi Rathjen has been advocating for strong laws for years. After she was a student during the Polytechnic shooting and was outspoken for increased measures following Dawson College. She pushed for the ban, but adds it should be expanded. And she's particularly concerned about this gun, the SKS, one of the most popular at Nardi's shop.
The government has shied away from dealing with this weapon.
Even if owners don't participate in the buyback now, they'll have till the end of October to get rid of any banned weapon.
We ain't giving you any. You want them, come and get them.
You can opt in or out of the program. You cannot opt in or out of the law.
After that, anyone in possession of a banned weapon could lose their gun license and face criminal liability. Kelly Gregg, CTV News.
A Montreal woman who worked for a regional health board in Montreal for decades is alleging systemic racism in her workplace, and she's made a complaint to the Human Rights Commission. Angela Mackenzie explains.
I wasn't being advanced career-wise.
For nearly 40 years, Wanda Kagan has worked in an administrative role with the CIUS West Central Montreal. She alleges she was unfairly paid and repeatedly passed up for promotions. In 2022, she filed a complaint with the Human Rights Commission after she was passed up for a promotion she said she deserved.
I had the most seniority and I had the most experience. And I was like literally devastated when I found out that a white colleague within the institution got the job over me.
The Centre for Research Action on Race Relations is helping Kagan with her case. Foniemi says the report the commission provided contains factual errors and doesn't treat her complaint as one involving systemic racism.
There are no data on how many black employees versus white employees working which position, how many got promoted, and they got a lot of information wrong.
Niemi says when he asked the commission to outline how it investigates allegations of systemic discrimination in the workplace, the answer he received was vague.
We feel that if this is the way that the Quebec Human Rights Commission tackles complaints of systemic racism in employment, a lot of black complainants, a lot of black victims of discrimination will never get justice.
They are still waiting to see if Kagan's case will go before the Human Rights Tribunal. We've reached out to the commission for comment, but did not hear back by our deadline. Kagan says as she nears retirement, she feels empowered to take her story public. She was also inspired by her high school friend Kamala Harris to stand up for herself. Kagan says she was eventually given the promotion she feels she deserved, but no apology. In an email, the health authority declined to comment on the case, citing confidentiality, but said it's committed to treating its employees with respect and dignity.
I went into a depression. It affects you. It affects your whole life after. You know, and as I'm realizing now, as I'm about to retire, it affects your retirement.
Kagan is calling for change in her workplace, for how employees are promoted, and for how complaints of discrimination are treated. Angela Mackenzie, CTV News.
Well, with just 7 months to go before the next provincial election, the Liberals are now tied with the PQ in a poll. Here's Olivia O'Malley.
The Quebec Liberal Party is going neck and neck with the Parti Québécois. According to Léger's most recent poll, the parties are tied. Both have support from 33% of decided voters.
Well, it basically tells us that Quebecers want change.
The Léger Québécois poll conducted from March 20th to the 22nd represents a 3-point rise for Charles Milliard's Liberals and a 1-point drop for Paul Saint-Pierre Plamondon's Parti Québécois compared to the previous poll. The Conservative Party is in third with 15% of voting intentions, and the CAQ dropped to 9%, tied with Québec Solidaire, unchanged from the last poll.
Everybody wants change. Everybody is ready to get rid of this government, of the CAQ. I think everybody's had enough of their type of politics and their policy.
It's more frightening for the CAQ right now. I don't want to be a CAQ member explaining to you what's happening with the polls.
The CAQ is set to choose its next leader in 2 weeks. Bernard Drinville or Christine Fréchette will be tasked with turning around the plummeting polls and try to spoil what could be a two-way race for the PQ and Liberals.
We don't take anything for granted.
We have to keep doing what we're doing right now.
The Leger poll was conducted online among 1,003 Quebecers who are 18 or over who are eligible to vote. Olivia O'Malley, CTV News, Quebec City.
Well, just yesterday, Celine Dion announced she would perform a series of concerts in Paris starting in September. And while tickets have yet to go on sale, scammers have already set up fake ticketing sites. Here's Christine Long.
Feeling good, I'm singing again.
6 years since her last concerts, Celine Dion's announcement earned a lot of excitement. Scammers take advantage of that emotion, says lawyer Alexandre Plourde of Option Consommateur, a non-profit association helping protect consumers.
On aime beaucoup l'artiste. On veut absolument avoir l'événement.
Cybersecurity expert Terry Cutler says scammers use urgency as a way to get ticket buyers to make a mistake online.
The tickets are going to go fast. So they rely on this urgency that, hey, if you don't act right now, you're going to lose out. And people don't kind of step back and look at where they're buying these tickets from. Is it a verified platform, or is it just some shady site? That's where most people are being scammed right now.
Plourde agrees only verified websites should be trusted.
Sur les médias sociaux, sur les sites de petites annonces comme Marketplace aussi, donc évitez ce type de site-là.
Be suspicious of ads on social media, he says. Cutler adds, if the seller is asking for an e-transfer, there's no way to protect your purchase.
If you can also purchase via PayPal, because you can get goods and services protection. So if ever you ended up being in a scam, whatever, PayPal will do an investigation for you to try and retrieve the money.
They both say never rush a purchase, and that scammers are quick to come up with a deal on whatever is popular. Plourde says when summer comes, his office will be flooded with complaints about fraudulent offers for camper vans and cabin rentals.
Fraude concernant des fausses annonces sur des roulottes ou des chalets à louer.
Whatever the hot ticket is, there's somebody willing to offer you a deal that's too good to be true. Consumer, be warned. Christine Long, CTV News.
Quebec's Cirque du Soleil announced layoffs today. The Cirque is abolishing close to 70 jobs at its Montreal head office and more in Las Vegas for a total of 100. This is the second round of recent job cuts. Last year, the Cirque du Soleil laid off about 110 positions in Montreal. A couple of pigs fell out of a transport trailer on Highway 30 today, causing a temporary closure. The animals were picked up by police with the help from Sauvetage Animal Rescue, who calmed them down and helped to move the animals to a trailer. The pigs were on their way to a slaughterhouse when the accident occurred. The SPCA is urging Quebecers to think twice before buying bunnies online. The SPCA says gifting the animals is a trend of the Easter season, but rabbits can be an investment over their lifetime. Initial purchase costs start at under $100, but it can cost up to tens of thousands to care for the animal. The shelter says it currently receives roughly 300 bunnies each year.
A rabbit, it's a very cute and cuddly animal, but at the same time, it's also a big responsibility. They can live up to 12 years. So, and if you want to care for them in the right way, you have to give them a lot of space, a lot of room. They need a big cage. They have also a special need. They need to be able to run around and jump and, have and the possibility to get outside of their cage for a short amount of time every day under supervision, because, they like to chew on things.
And the SPCA is calling for a crackdown on online sales. The Montreal Canadiens were in Tampa Bay tonight for their last game of a very successful road trip, and they kept the momentum going.
Slavkovsky a Demidov. A Slavkovsky.
The Habs' Juraj Slavkovsky started off the scoring with a solid snapshot on a power play pass from Ivan Demidov, but about a minute later, the Bolts' Jake Gunsel responded with a wrist shot. That tied it up. Then in the second, Cole Caulfield scores his 47th of the season on a beautiful pass by Slavkovsky. And in the third, Mike Matheson and Nick Suzuki each score empty netters to make it a 4-1 game. The final minutes led to some very physical playoff-like moments on the ice, but the Habs skated away with a 6th straight win, with Jakub Dobeš stopping 36 of 37 shots. Still to come, what you should know about doorbell cams and where their video goes.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
Increasing number of abandoned buildings.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. CTVMontreal.ca, your home for news.
Sales of doorbell cameras continue to rise. Many people see them as an added layer of security, but people should consider where their video footage is being stored and who has access to it. Here's Pat Foran.
Whether you're on the lookout for porch pirates, wild animals, or car thieves, a video doorbell can come in handy. They've been around for years, but some of us might not realize how they work behind the scenes. Most video doorbells capture footage from wherever they're mounted and send it to manufacturers' cloud-based servers. And in most cases, you need a monthly subscription to save and access those recordings.
Usually with most cameras, when you are recording and it goes to the cloud, but you don't have a subscription, the recording is not saved. It might temporarily get stored on the server, but it is eventually deleted.
In rare situations, companies can still recover footage scheduled for deletion, which may have happened in the Nancy Guthrie case, but that process can take a lot of time and effort and isn't something you should rely on. Many consumers prefer cloud storage because it's convenient and offers extra features. Others prefer cameras that store footage locally to keep their videos as private and secure as possible. Most cameras with local storage use a micro SD card inside the camera. Researchers also suggest another option for local storage.
The safest thing to do is get a model that has a separate hub or base station that the micro SD card goes into, and you can place that somewhere, else in your house that's far away from the camera.
Local storage usually means no monthly subscription fees and more control over your video, because police would have to come directly to you for the footage rather than go to the manufacturer. Those are two reasons why some homeowners are moving away from cloud storage cameras.
If I were to do this all over again, I absolutely would go with cameras that use local storage.
These doorbells and cameras with both local and cloud storage options did well in Consumer Reports tests. When it comes to your family's safety,
now can I ring the doorbell?
Where your footage is saved could make all the difference. Pat Foran, CTV News.
Menswear provided by Ernest. Elevate your style with Ernest. Weather, brought to you by Gratian-Scaff. Second pair is a gift event including designer frames. A second pair free for a limited time.
Well, I've got rain behind me, and you'll want to get used to it because we are in for a rainy few days. But first, looking at where we started off our morning. We had a temperature of 0, not only for Montreal, but also for Mirabel and the Sherbrooke areas. That is on the warmer side for this time of year as our start. So our normal low is now sitting at -2. We hit that expected high of +7. That is our normal expected high for this time. And here's a look at where we are headed for tonight. We're expecting a return to a temperature of 0, along with rain in the skies shifting over to clouds. And we are forecasting roughly 5 millimeters by the end of the evening. For tomorrow morning, looking at a cloudy start with a temperature of 1. By afternoon, we could potentially see a peak of some sunshine. Our futurecast showing us rain around midnight, ending by about 2 a.m. for the Montreal area, at which point we will be left with those clouds as that system pushes out to the east, and then we start to see some of those clouds clearing. Insofar as the rain, though, we are looking at some more coming our way. So on Thursday, forecasting roughly 8 millimeters. That's expected on Thursday afternoon. For Friday, we see roughly 4 millimeters coming our way. Then on Saturday and Sunday, that rain looks a bit heavier, roughly 15 millimeters coming on Saturday, another 10 potentially to come on Sunday. That's to say, any outdoor plans you may want to push to later next week.
And that will do it for us tonight. Thanks for watching. For the latest news, you can listen to the Andrew Carter Morning Show at 5 on CJ8800. And of course, you can always head to our website, ctvnewsmontreal.ca, for extended coverage. Thanks for staying up late with us. Have a good night. We'll see you again tomorrow. Take care.